G'day gang, just ahead of our get together at Bendigo next week, I thought I'd share this with you. Still trying to work out what to call it actually. I think we'll call it an underwater wash plant, submersible wash plant. Don't know, I'm open to suggestions on that. But, where do you start with such a thing? Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it, but I will have to put the camera down a couple of times while I dismantle it. So we're looking at a, what would you say? Placed together example of what this submersible wash plant is. Placed together, put together, maybe is a better term. Maybe I'll put the camera this way. So it's pretty long, but that's, you got to remember, you're going to have water running through it. So we want a few collection points along the way. And what I've done is I've put the top on one half. As you can see here, there is a Velcro strap going over the top cap. We'll call it a cap. And at the rear, there's another cap that will have Velcro going over it. I've ordered them off eBay, and they've just gone through customs at Guangdong in China. So good on you, Guangdong. We're cheering for you. So what we've got is, actually I think I'll call it the ag pipe submersible wash plant, because what we have here is ag pipe. Now I'm not too sure how well you're seeing this, but this is industrial scours cut in half, so it's thinner and will go into what is half an ag pipe. Now see all these little ridges? Every ridge can catch gold. And what we have here is, I'll lift it up, we have an over and an under. So the gold actually has to go under here and then come over here, which is, and also get through these ridges. And there is another little lower one behind the scour. So there's a whole lot of stopping points and pressure changes there. And the cap goes on to keep all the material on the inside and underneath. And and by the time it gets to here, you can imagine there's not going to be much left. So the hope is that the first, that's the second, that's the first section. We'll get to that in a sec. So the hope is that it all gets caught here and here before it gets down to here. And what I'll do is, as I said, I am waiting for some Velcro straps to arrive, but it comes apart reasonably easy, and I'll show you. So being what it is, it's one length of ag pipe that has been cut down the middle. And it looks like we're getting to one of those times where I might have to put the camera down. If we're lucky, I might get, here we go, there. So yeah, so basically that slides under it. This sits into the grooves, and a Velcro strap, when the top is on, a Velcro strap will secure it all in place. So then we're up to the second section, once again with little stoppage points for wet material that's travelling along there. It has to go over, probably more likely to sink into there or into the into the scour. I'm only going to do this in one take, so you're going to have to bear with any mistakes I make. And here we have what is a stoppage, another stoppage point, and some brackets, because this was a little bit flexible and I didn't want it to break, so we had to shore it up a little bit and make it stronger. I even got a little bit of silicone here, so for when this goes on, we don't have any water escaping, or if we do, it's minimal. Underneath this cap, the slots here, and by the way, go onto the side bolts here for a bit more of a snug fit. So, and once again, as explained, it gets velcroed over. So, and underneath we have some AstroTurf just to contribute towards slowing things down and forcing things down onto here. And through here, I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. I might have to wait. Yeah. Oh, can we see it? Yeah, there's more ridges where that white section is. Through here, on the inside of here, of course, as you can see along here, there's more ridges. So there are a lot of ridges to catch this. So that's what we'll call the back section. Here we'll call the front feeding section. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I've mentioned how I've got a bit of mesh and what have you lying about, and some of that has been used here. But this smaller stuff here, next to the Alexander Parade in Collingwood, I've known about a piece of mesh that was on the nature strip for 1 year. And yeah, and it was there when I went to go get it. And what we have is we have a basket that can pull out. We got this pipe just loosely zip tied in at the moment, but we've got this guy here that can lift out. So imagine yourself shoveling material in there. It gets washed because it's submersible. I'm thinking it'll go sit in the water to about that level. So we've got a couple of centimetres, inches, whatever, of material that gets shoveled in there. And as you can see, we've got the grate, for want of a better term, or mesh classifier, even if that's what you want to call it. And yeah, couple of movable handles just to hold it when you want to take it out. And if I do take it out, you'll see that we've got a mesh section under here. And there's your mesh. I don't know if that's 8 mesh or what you would call it, but we also have a section here which is designed, because I want the material to go down there and get a bit of flow behind it before it enters into here. This section here has been blocked off. And what we've got is, this guy is really strong. I initially had it sitting, I'll just move over here. I had the whole unit, the feeder unit, sitting in this frame, which might be used later if I decide to turn it into some kind of a high banker. So I haven't thrown this away. It's pretty rare I throw anything away, actually. So here we are, we've got a bit of a side view here. Let's just have a look. So yeah, it is pretty long, but it might work out that I'm only going to use the initial, the feeder, this drop-off point, and that section. It may work out I don't need that section, but because I had to cut the ag pipe in half, I had another half, the top half. And this top half actually did have holes in it, so I've had to seal them all up with silicone and what have you. And now it's starting to rain halfway through this video just to give me the willies, but I'm going to keep going. And so what we've got here is, this guy here is, it's just an old laundry basket that I found last year during lockdown. And what I've done is connect 2 pieces of 100 pipe, 100 by 50, this stuff here, and I've cut the top off it. And you've got 2 channels that go side by side and feed the corrugated ag pipe chutes. And down the middle we've got a spine, which I decided just to put a bit of a, so to divert water with. We've got a movable little flow controller, we'll call it. And I was kind of chuffed with this. When I made this guy here, I put in some all thread cross members, and these sections here, they're like U-shaped, and they go under the basket to contribute to strength on the downforce. And right underneath it, we have a spine. We have the wood, and then we have a pipe. So it's pretty solid and will sit in a riverbed. And also the top sections that got cut off the pipe became little skid plates for underneath. So what we've got is, so the little flow guy, he comes back on there. I didn't do that well, I didn't get it on camera. He comes back onto there, and I grab one of my wing nuts, simply put it on and tuck that out of the way. Now, worth noting that when I want to pull this apart, this flow thing can come around the front and block off the flow, so I don't have water continuing going through it. So that's pretty handy. Of course, there's one on each side. Now, another part of the problem was I had to decide how to attach this to the pipes. And as you can see, this corrugated stuff here, it's a drain down pipe from Bunnings, and it's got little cross members in each section, which I'll show you in a minute. But I had to attach it to the main feeder chute. So we've got a bolt going through there, all thread going right through the whole unit. Then we've got the 2 bolts that are from here, and so I needed to attach them. So I made a little bracket just out of this plastic material that I found a couple of years ago, and it's got a wood grain finish on top, and I've never been able to see it again, either to buy or to find. And what I'm doing is probably helps if I take the wing nut off. Bear with me. And yeah, it's really good material. I've used it for a few things. So we've made a bracket, and that holds this section onto this section just by going on and wing nuts. So that means now this section can come off. Or does it? I forgot. We have another bracket here. And as you can see, I mentioned the bolts going through it. There they are there, and that's where that bracket slips on and slips on up the front. But I needed something for the middle as well. We'll just give this a spin and let it drop. Could it be that easy? So I had to, I had a bolt already poking through, and there you go, a little bracket that's held on just by a zip tie is formed to hold these guys in place, these guys. Now, if I hold the camera and give it a wiggle, that should come, yeah, there you go, that should come out. And, oh, don't step on it, what am I doing? I'm dropping things, I'm stepping on things. And there you go, there's your cross members here. And they slip into, give us a look, slots here. So you've got that. This guy is still attached. There's our little bracket that holds on these guys here. Where are we? That holds them on, comes in and holds them in place. And then we've got this guy here, which at this point in time, it's reasonably well constructed, so I can pick it up and not have to worry about it. So the water goes down there, and I can't tell if you can see the corrugations, but you certainly can on the outside. And yeah, right along there, if you can imagine material going along there, then onto the next section, and each one is a little gold trap. So it should kind of catch any material, especially the heavies, quite nicely. And the idea of it all really is to be able to feed this and just have it under a controlled flow in a creek or a river, and not needing a pump to pump water in. You just shovel in there. I have a little scour or a brush and wash over the material and wipe it over, brush it I guess, as I shovel it in. And hopefully the water will also contribute to washing it, and then it goes down the chutes into here and along there. And not sure what else to say to it about it, to be honest, but yeah. Oh yeah, cost, alright. Well, this guy here, I found the laundry basket. I had the pipe going underneath there, the channels. And let's see, I had an old meter ruler that I put down the middle, and I also used for cross member here. This is part of the U-shaped brackets that I put that go over that 100mm pipe under here, and that contributes to strength. We've got the bit of wood, I had that just sitting around, so no cost there, and it's really strong. Basically it's got a spine, this feeder section, so you can sit it in a riverbank and not worry about it getting damaged or anything. So we had that all sitting around there. These guys here, they're about $10 each from Bunnings. This ag pipe section, that was $10. So give us a look, what did I do? Just trying to think, yeah, I bought, did I buy one or two? Yeah, no, I think I just bought one, yeah. So this section goes on the top here when you buy it. It's about 1 metre long, and here's this section here is the other half. So yeah, that was about $10 too. So what are we? That's about $30 worth. I think I'm quoting the right prices. About $30 worth. I bought a profile here, right angle profile, to be able to use on the AstroTurf. I had the AstroTurf sitting there, but you've got to count it in. That's about $20 to get a really big section. You can still see it sitting here actually. I've got heaps of it. I've got to find a use for it, but you get a pretty, you know, for about $20 you get a really large piece of AstroTurf or fake grass, whatever you wish to call it. And a few other little brackets and so forth. The straps, I think I bought 10 off eBay for literally $10. But it works out, I think it works out all up, it's about $80 that I'll get a submersible gold river wash plant. Geez, it's going to get called a lot of different things by the time I'm finished with it. But I think, yeah, actually, the ag wash plant, because this here is agricultural pipe if you're ever looking for it. And some of it is flexible at concertinas in and out, and some of it is just rigid and straight and always will be. The other thing here too, these guys here, Let's look. I don't know if I can do it one-handed, but they actually, you can bend them. Got to be careful not to break it. But yeah, this guy here, you can bend it and change angles. You can literally do a bit of a U shape. So it works out if this guy here is not the ideal situation, I can keep the rear section, and there's 45 degree pipe joiners at Bunnings. They're about $12 each. And you could literally join a pipe here, then send it down on a 45-degree angle. It's only a short little joiner, and attach it to here, and then you would have a down slope, which could be used for a high banking situation. So it's got two options really. It can be underwater, or it can turn into a high banker. So that's, yeah, but we're going to just try the underwater section first, and just hopefully, yeah, each channel will feed this guy along here, all the way down along there with the tops on, of course. The tops on there, holding the water in, and everything going down that way, and all these little traps, all these little concertinas and ridges designed to catch gold. So it will be quite interesting. And then your little over and underflow sections here, and then we have the extender sections as well if need be. It's still a work in progress, I guess, all that. But yeah, the industrial scale is pretty good. It's kind of a little bit awkward to cut in half, because you need a nice thin bit to get the curvature. But with a hacksaw and a little bit of practice, you do manage to do it. And it's only about $5 a go, so they have to be in the cost as well. I think roughly $80 would be the cost of what is a ag pipe submersible gold wash plant. There's another name for it. It keeps getting bigger and better. So this is only its first prototype, we'll call it, but I think it'll work, and it should be quite exciting. I haven't seen anything quite like it yet. I had seen a couple of underflow sluices on YouTube which are interesting. They're all perspex, and you kind of see there's a line and the gold goes under what is a stoppage point, and it collects in the little half pipe section, and then only the lighter stuff goes up and continues to keep going. So quite amazingly, I found a bag in my travels, in my daily walk, which is long. I don't know what it's used for, maybe a tent or something, and it works out. It takes these pipes, takes the pipes and the other little sections into this really nicely, and then this guy here stays independent. And I was pretty pleased with the classifier chute. As I said, it's got handles, it folds up, and this way, with that little bit of pipe underneath it, I get a bit of an angle when I'm feeding into it, so I can slope down, the water hits it, and then it goes into the finer mesh here and then travels along. So yeah, the ag pipe water plant, sluice, river sluice, thingamy-bob, whatchamacallit. There's a whole lot of things we can call it at this point in time, but yeah, look, I'm a little bit chuffed. It's certainly kept me busy for the last week or so. It's good to have a reason to do things when you wake up, and this one has been mine, but I've got to admit, I can't kind of wait for the rain to come and to get up Slatey Creek and see if it actually all works. And here's the other thing, the mine's always ticking over, so to speak. When I was at Bunnings today, there was a raised garden bed, plastic, and quite lightweight, and it was up to about 2 foot high, and a black box, something like that, on legs. And you really could have quite easily just attached these guys here and put them on an angle and have a gravity-fed sluice or high banker type situation, and just by putting water in, you'd pump it in that situation and shoveling the materials in, and then it just goes down. So that's another option for the future if the submersible version doesn't work. But yeah, a couple of little brackets and a little bit of thinking, and this is what you end up with. So anyway, as I said, this is as much about to have a bit of a chat with people next weekend about. Maybe they'll put a bit of fresh thinking into the idea. Maybe they'll say, mate, it's not going to work, you're crazy. Or they might say, good one. Who knows? It'll be interesting. But anyway, we'll find out next weekend up at Bendigo, and that's going to be a fun day too. I'm not sure how many of us are going. I bought some lamb chops at the Vic Market yesterday, and for anyone who doubts growing your own home tomatoes, they are so much better than the supermarket. These are rippers. The plant's half dead, but it's got something like about 17 tomatoes on it. So this is after the initial offering of about 30, which were really sweet and nice. But these guys are taking a lot longer to turn red or even orange. But that's okay. That's okay. We've got the other one over here. And they've both been attacked by spider mites, but yet they're still flowering and offering fruit. So that's pretty cool. It's always good to have something in the garden going. One last shot of the Ag Pipe Super Sluice Underwater Gold Trap Class A edition. Alright, maybe you've got a better suggestion for a name. You can put that in the comments if you want. So stay well, and yeah, we're looking forward to the rains and getting back up the creek. Although next week's going to be about detecting, metal detecting, and that's pretty cool too. So it's good to have an option. Alright, hooroo, see you later.